This clip is brought to you by 8 Sleep Mattresses, the temperature-controlled Tesla of beds that automates your sleep. Sleep better and enjoy this clip. On the podcast, we talk about sleep all the time. It's like we guard our sleep. And one thing that I've noticed in my mom, but other people I know, is like a lot of people who, let's say, they don't pay attention to health podcasts or this stuff, right? They they'll be on screens, they'll be up a little bit later. Even my mom now, she's 60 something. I try to tell her, hey, go to sleep earlier, but she's watching Nigerian movies until 1 a.m., right? And you got to wonder, as you get older, first off, it's harder to get as much sleep as you used to when you were younger, but the amount of repair that goes on to the brain with quality sleep, and you continue to miss out on that as you get older, it's scary to think about. America's becoming more obese and overweight. There's all these things that are impacting people's sleep. It's a problem, right? So as far as sleep is concerned, do you have any suggestions for people when it does come to that, especially as you get older, since quality sleep is harder with age?
Yeah, it's so important. I mean, when you sleep, your brain is literally like cleaning itself of the proteins that are associated with Alzheimer's disease, like amyloid beta, tau. We know that on one night of shortened sleep, they can measure levels of amyloid in cerebrospinal fluid. They found that on just one night of shortened sleep, there's a 30% increase in amyloid in cerebrospinal fluid and about a 50% increase in tau, which is not necessarily reflective of what you see in brain. But I mean, the assumption is that the more there is in cerebrospinal fluid, the more likely there will be to clump up and aggregate and form these plaques in the brain, right? So you definitely want to make sure that you're optimizing your sleep. And one of the things that I find super fascinating about sleep is that it tends to be front loaded with the processes that support your immediate survival, right? Like immediately, because like think about like if you were on the run or something, or if like your sleep was disturbed midnight, your body wants to, I think from an evolutionary standpoint, it makes a lot of sense that sleep would be front loaded with the processes that are going to be the most restorative, right? So we know that when you first go to sleep, that's when you get that initial pulse of testosterone, of growth hormone, right? Which is like super reparative to the body. Similarly to the brain, to the anatomy of the brain, that's when you see this swoosh of cerebrospinal fluid go throughout the brain, cleansing itself basically of these proteins like amyloid beta, thanks to the glymphatic system. And that happens earlier on in the night during slow wave sleep, which tends to be front loaded again towards like biased towards the beginning of sleep. It's like later in sleep when like the more emotional regulatory processes take place, like, you get more REM sleep, which is associated with like better emotional regulation and the like. So yeah, I mean, generally just making sure that I think to optimize sleep, one of the things that I think seems to be, the most salient among, whether it's like the reading I've done or the sleep experts that I've talked to, you just want to make sure that you're, being as consistent as you can with your sleep schedule. I think that's a big one, making sure that you're sleeping in a room that's as dark as possible. We're now seeing evidence to suggest that even low level light exposure at like an intensity of about 5 lux is associated with worse cognitive function the next day. So making sure that your room is as dark as possible. Cooler temperatures, I think, tend to support better sleep. I sleep with one of those like sleep bed cooling systems.
Yeah, we use 8 Sleep.
Yeah, those are bomb. Having a healthy dietary pattern, I think, is associated with better sleep. Making sure that another thing that's a really big one is building up sleep pressure over the course of the day. That's like a concept where, when you do things that tire out your body, it puts more pressure on the brain to get to sleep at night. Like if you're sedentary all day, there's going to be a lot less of that. So it's going to make insomnia more likely. And I think there was a study that came out recently, small study, but seemed to suggest that resistance training, really more so than aerobic training, taxes the nervous system in a way that it builds sleep pressure more than aerobic training does.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So resistance train, another reason to resistance train.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, sleep is crucially important.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, go ahead and comment down below and let us know what you liked about it. All right. Share this with a friend. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, we are on Reddit and Discord. All that's down below. All our sponsors and everyone that supports us down below there too, so you can get whatever you like from us. All right? Peace.